Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be unboxing, taking a first look, and reviewing the VARLA Eagle One version 2.0 electric scooter. This absolute beast of an e-scooter features full suspension, dual hub motors, and is fantastic for off-roading and commuting alike. 3.5 years ago, we reviewed the VARLA Eagle One version 1.0, and it was an incredible experience. The 1.0 scooter is still one that we use and abuse to this day and absolutely love. The Eagle One version 2.0 elevates that ride to the next level and improves on many of the details that we wished to see upgraded. This scooter currently retails for around $1,550, but is normally priced at around $2,000. At this price, the Eagle One version 2.0 is an absolute beast of a portable electric vehicle with a 40-mile-an-hour top speed, up to 40 miles of range, and a wicked acceleration, so make sure to stick around to get all of the details on this absolute machine. Getting into the unboxing, the 2.0 comes in a massive, extra thick, heavy-duty custom box with plastic stripping to reinforce it. This thing is no joke at all, weighing in at 108 pounds. The entire volume of the box is a Tetris-esque puzzle of stacked foam to fully enclose the scooter. The scooter was extremely well packaged in a variety of foam cutouts, ensuring that it arrived in pristine condition. Somewhere around the middle of the package was an extra wide deck option, which we will touch on later. Getting the scooter out of the box was pretty difficult since the box opens from the top and the scooter is pretty heavy. It is definitely doable, but it's nice to have a second person to help with unboxing. At the very bottom of the box was a smaller box with many of the small parts needed to assemble the scooter and all of the accessories. Inside of the smaller box, first there was the headlight, which does not come assembled on the scooter. Next, there is a spare set of brake light covers for later down the line. There is also a water bottle / cup holder type accessory. One of the nicest accessories in my opinion is the chain bike lock for the scooter, which is a great one to have if you ever need to leave the scooter anywhere. Next, they have a spare set of brake pads. This smaller white box contains the screen module for the scooter with 2 NFC cards that act as keys for the scooter. As far as tools go, they include a double-sided wrench and a multi-hex tool that are necessary for scooter assembly. The scooter bell also comes inside of this box. Next, there is a bag containing 6 spare deck hardware bolts. At the very bottom is the scooter owner's manual, which has a lot of detailed information. VARLA also included this clear box with spare bolts of varying sizes, which I thought was a nice touch. Lastly, there is the charger for the scooter, which is identical to the charger on the Eagle One version 1.0. It charges at a rate of 2 amps, which is extremely slow for a battery this large, meaning that it takes 12 to 13 hours to fully charge this scooter. The charge port is an XLR connector, and lastly, there is a standard power cable for the charger. Here's a closer look at everything that came inside of the box. I was impressed at the amount of future replacement parts that came included, which will be key as the scooter needs maintenance later on. The bottle holder and bike lock were also awesome accessory inclusions that will be very useful. There are also accessories that came outside of this box. First is the maple deck adapter that I mentioned earlier. This is an extra wide 13.8-inch platform to make the scooter's standing area wider. This deck comes ungripped, so they have also included 2 sets of grip tape for this platform. The last accessories are these 3 extra grip tape patterns for the stock scooter deck, which is similar to how they did it in the VARLA Eagle 1.0. With the unboxing done, we are quickly going to go over the assembly of the scooter. To skip to the review, check the chapters built into this video. The first step in assembly was to remove the 4 bolts that hold the clamp at the end of the stem. I then slid the handlebars into place and added the clamp back, tightening the bolts to fix it down. Next, I mounted the display to the scooter. First, I loosened the bolts on the back of the display to allow the clamps to open. I also cut the 2 NFC keys off at this point. I slid the display over the center of the handlebars and clamped it down using the bolts I had just loosened. With the screen mounted, I began connecting the wires. They are all color-coded, so this process is pretty simple. I then mounted the headlight to the scooter. First, I removed the bolt on the front of the mount. Next, I slid the light into place and tightened the nut and bolt using the multi-hex tool and wrenches to really secure the light. I then connected the headlight cable to the scooter, and just like that, the scooter was ready to go. Now we are going to go over all of the components that compose this scooter. First, let's talk about the size. The scooter is 49.21 inches long and 52 inches high. It weighs about 82 pounds. The handlebars are 28 inches wide, which is extra long. Simply put, this scooter is massive and takes up a lot of space. The scooter deck is 20.5 inches long and 9.06 inches wide, with the option for the wider 13.8-inch maple platform. The chassis of the scooter is made from 6061 aluminum. The battery is housed in the main compartment of the chassis and is a 14S 8P made from 18650 lithium-ion cells. The 50.2 volt 20.8 amp hour pack has a capacity of 1082 watt hours, which is huge. The charge port for the scooter is on the front of the stem, and there are actually 2 charge ports so that 2 chargers can be used to charge the scooter twice as quickly. The VARLA Eagle 1 version 2.0 is a full suspension scooter with dual swing arms and serious shocks on the front and rear wheels. The wheels utilize 10 by 3.5 inch tubeless tires, which is a huge upgrade from my experience with the 1.0. The most common maintenance that I had to do on the version 1.0 was to change out the tubes, so this should alleviate that issue. The tires on the scooter have a more aggressive tread than the 1.0, which should be useful when off-roading for extra traction. Each wheel features a 1000 watt hub motor with 1600 watts of peak output power and 32 newton meters of torque. This puts the maximum peak scooter power at 3200 watts. The 2.0 features dual hydraulic brakes, with each wheel containing a 160mm brake disc. Hydraulic brakes are a must on a scooter this fast and powerful, so it's great to see this. The scooter also has a built-in headlight to help see the road in front of you at night, taillights to be seen by others at night, and ambient LED lights for some colorful added style. The stem of the scooter also folds down for easier transportation. The new locking mechanism is another big upgrade on the V2 Eagle 1. The stem is locked into the upright position by screwing in the front clamp, which has a big knob for easy tightening. For additional safety, a steel pin also slots through the stem. To fold the stem down, simply remove the pin and loosen the clamp. The top of the stem has a carabiner that clips onto a hook at the rear of the deck. This allows the scooter to be picked up and carried more easily, though I must say it's not that portable at 82 pounds. When the stem is bent, the scooter is 23.62 inches tall, which makes it a little easier to transport in the trunk of a car, for example. Moving over to the cockpit, the scooter controls are pretty minimalist and simple. The screen in the center contains all of the settings and live data for the scooter. The left side of the handlebar has the controls for the scooter settings. The top button is the power switch for the scooter. To turn the scooter on, the power switch must be held for 3 seconds and the NFC key must be placed over the center of the screen. The 2 buttons below the power button are the speed mode buttons, which change the scooter speed mode from gear 1 to gear 5. If you hold both buttons at the same time, the scooter settings can be accessed and customized, which can do things like unlock more torque out of the scooter. Holding just the plus button switches the scooter between dual motor and single motor mode, which only shows as a small icon on the screen. When the minus button is held, the scooter ambient lights turn on. There are 3 ambient light modes, which can be cycled through using the last button at the bottom, the light mode button. The light button also controls the headlight if held. Lastly, on the left side of the handlebar is the front brake. The right side of the handlebar has the throttle of the scooter, which is a thumb throttle. I prefer this throttle far more to the previous trigger throttle that was on the version 1.0 Eagle 1. The right handlebar also has the rear brake, and that's it for the controls and the components used in the VARLA Eagle 1 version 2.0. The review portion of this video will be split into categories detailing the various important specs and aspects of this scooter, which can be skipped to using the chapters built into this video. The first section is the top speed of the scooter, and VARLA advertises that the top speed on the Eagle 1 version 2.0 is 40 plus miles per hour. Based on our experience with the scooter, it is exactly this at 40 miles per hour. 40 miles an hour on a scooter, or pretty much any portable electric vehicle for that matter, personally feels scary and is more than enough for my needs. I never found myself going over 35 miles per hour and only hit 40 miles an hour to test the speed for this video. At these high speeds, the scooter did feel very stable though, making it easy to go fast in general with confidence. Overall, I was very impressed and happy with the top speed that this scooter was able to reach, and if you're looking for a fast and easy to ride fast portable electric vehicle, I would definitely recommend checking out the Eagle 1 version 2.0. Range is our second category, and VARLA advertises that the maximum range on the 2.0 is 42 miles per charge. Range is subject to a variety of factors, so it is expected to fluctuate under various operating conditions. We performed a range test on the scooter riding in speed mode 5 with dual motors on, riding pretty aggressively with an 150-pound rider, and got 26 miles out of this scooter. This is definitely closer to a worst case range given these conditions, and this goes to show how much to expect out of this scooter at the minimum. One thing I observed while testing the scooter is the accuracy of the battery indicator and the amount of sag on the battery. I was able to get 20 miles before the scooter hit 50% battery, but only 6 miles out of the last 50% according to the indicator. Additionally, at a stop, the battery would show 50%, but as soon as I accelerated up to speed, the indication would drop below 10%, so sag is a real thing on the scooter to be aware of. Based on my experience with the VARLA Eagle 1 version 2.0, I would expect anywhere from 25 miles on the lower end when riding aggressively with dual motors in the highest speed modes, to mid-30s using lower speed modes in the single motor mode. Third, we have the hill climbing ability of the scooter. VARLA cites a 30-degree max hill climb angle, which we were not able to verify explicitly. However, the scooter is absolutely incredible on hills, especially when in dual motor mode. Similar to the version 1.0 Eagle 1, you can really feel the handlebars pull on your arms when you bomb up a hill, which is an exhilarating sensation. This scooter is able to climb up literally any hill that it encounters with complete ease. The raw power on hills is really impressive, and I would highly recommend this scooter if you're looking for a portable electric vehicle with a premium hill climbing performance. Fourth, we have the acceleration and braking of the scooter. The acceleration of the scooter depends on which of the 5 speed modes the scooter is in and whether or not dual motor mode is enabled. In the lower speed modes, on single motor mode, the acceleration is very smooth and gentle, making the Eagle 1 version 2.0 suitable for beginner riders. In the higher ride modes, the acceleration really picks up in strength and has a real kick. Dual motor mode in any of the speed modes adds quite a bit of extra kick as well. In Gear 5, the highest gear, and in dual motor mode, the acceleration on the scooter is absolutely nuts. If you punch the scooter from a standstill, the scooter wheels sometimes spin out on the asphalt. At this level, the acceleration feels pretty jerky since the initial punch off the line is so strong. I found that when I was going out for a cruise on the scooter, dual motor mode in mode 5 was even too strong, twitchy, and uncontrollable. If you really want to rip this scooter around, bomb up hills, and off-road through anything, the kind of acceleration that you get out of this scooter is perfect. I love the flexibility and range of riding modes that the Eagle 1 2.0 offers, as it can be used leisurely, has the performance to go beyond what I'm comfortable with, and everything in between. The dual hydraulic disc brakes on the scooter are also strong and reliable and are a core safety feature for effective braking on a scooter this fast. They work very well and were able to stop me on a dime if I needed to. The stopping power on the front brake was particularly impressive. I once slammed so hard on the brakes that my rear wheel lifted off and I nearly went over the handlebars, so the stopping power is certainly there. Overall, the brakes work very well and the acceleration on the scooter is fantastic and flexible so that it can be used by beginners and advanced riders with an absolutely mind-boggling ability on the higher end. Fifth, we have the ride feeling and comfort of the scooter, which is a more subjective topic. The scooter is ultra smooth with the dual suspension and large 10-inch tires that dampen nearly all of the vibrations, cracks, and bumps that the scooter encounters. The independent suspension is probably my favorite aspect of the scooter because it both makes the ride smoother and is a whole lot of fun. It makes taking small jumps a breeze and adds a whole lot of confidence at higher speeds. The stem of the scooter feels very solid and has very little flex to it under hard acceleration. This is a change that I love over the version 1.0 stem, which flexed quite a bit and was one of the biggest issues that I had with the previous generation Eagle 1. I attribute this largely to the new locking mechanism, which feels more robust and keeps the stem more secure. The standing platform on the version 2.0 is about an inch shorter than on the 1.0 and is something that I noticed almost immediately. The deck is still long enough and wide enough for my needs, but I actually prefer the extra space with the 1.0 geometry. I find myself using the rear suspension mount as the foothold for my back leg to give me a push, similar to how I rode the version 1.0. If needed, the 13.8-inch platform can be used for more foot space and a more neutral foot stance, While I personally find it too wide, it is nice for riders who like to keep their feet next to one another while riding. Another key aspect to be aware of on a scooter this large is maneuverability, which you can definitely feel when riding this scooter. The sheer size and weight impacts the carving and general steerability of the scooter, though I would not consider this a downside. As a result of the sheer size and the design of the steering mechanism, the scooter is very stable and I had no issues getting it up to top speed or cruising fast on bumpy roads. The scooter is still nimble enough to be convenient, but it's never going to be as maneuverable as smaller scooters out there. The maneuverability versus stability trade-off is definitely warranted given how fast this scooter can go, so this is to be expected. In terms of control comfort, the thumb throttle on this scooter is a great upgrade that I find far more comfortable on longer rides than the previous trigger throttle on the version 1.0 Eagle One. Coming primarily from the electric skateboard world, it always impresses me how easy and comfortable it can be to ride an electric scooter. From my experience, most people are able to pick up the Eagle One and shred it around instantly. This is definitely one of the huge advantages to getting something like the Eagle One, as it's super easy to ride and provides a comfortable form factor. In summary, the VARLA Eagle One version 2.0 offers a smooth and stable ride with dual suspension, large 10-inch tires, and improved stem stability, balancing maneuverability with high-speed confidence for a comfortable and accessible riding experience. Our sixth topic is the off-roading capability of this scooter, and let me tell you, it's built to handle the trails like a pro. With the dual independent suspension, extra wide 3.5-inch treaded tires, and dual 1000 watt motors, this scooter is an off-road beast. The new tires in particular are a major upgrade over the 1.0 for a couple of key reasons. First, their extra width and deeper tread provide excellent traction and grip on uneven terrain, making them much more stable off-road. Second, these tires are airless, which in my experience increases reliability since there are no tubes to pop or puncture. I had quite a few flat tubes on the 1.0 which have been a pain to deal with, so this adjustment has greatly helped solve this problem. The dual independent suspension absorbs shocks effortlessly, keeping the ride smooth and controlled even on rough, uneven terrain. The suspension is robust enough to comfortably handle jumps and drops. Its impressive performance and user-friendly design make this scooter perfect for riders of all experience levels, so anyone can confidently hit the trails like a pro and enjoy the adventure. For instance, my 62-year-old dad isn't able to ride electric skateboards off-road with me, but with the Eagle One scooter, he's able to tackle the terrain, letting us ride together and share that experience. If you're in the market for a fun off-roading PEV, I could not recommend this scooter enough. Our final category is the miscellaneous topics, where we cover all of the other observations and experiences we've had with the Eagle One version 2.0. First, let's talk about lights. The headlight is ultra bright and perfect for night riding. It's so effective that you won't need any external lights to supplement it. The taillights are also incredible and interactive, which improve visibility at night. Anytime you hit the brakes, the taillights get brighter to alert nearby traffic, which is a key communication signal. The interactive LED lights are also a fun touch that add a little character to the scooter. Having them on also increases visibility in general because they are so eye-catching. Overall, the light system on the scooter is very useful, functional, and well designed. Next, let's talk about portability. At 82 pounds, it is extremely difficult to carry this scooter any substantial distance. For example, I live on the 3rd floor of a building with no elevator, and carrying this scooter up and down the stairs to make this video has been an absolute nightmare. This may be one of the least portable electric vehicles out there. If you need a scooter that can be carried frequently or for long distances, I'd strongly recommend looking for something lighter. This scooter just isn't designed with portability in mind. Finally, I wanted to talk about what category of scooter this one falls into. Within VARLA's fleet of offerings, the Eagle One version 2.0 is the middle-of-the-line option. There are scooters specifically built for commuting like the Pegasus and the Falcon, and scooters that are even heftier for off-roading like the Eagle One Pro. The Eagle One version 2.0 here falls somewhere in the middle and is suitable for both. After spending the last 6 months with the VARLA Eagle One version 2.0, I can confidently say that this is an absolute beast of an electric scooter. At the $1,550 price point, it offers incredible value. It boasts a 40 mile an hour top speed, 25 plus miles of real-world range, has unreal hill climbing, features dual hydraulic brakes, and has full suspension. Additionally, VARLA have paid attention to the details by taking the solid foundation of the original Eagle One and refining it with meaningful upgrades. Notably, the stronger folding mechanism and stem, wider tubeless tires, new thumb throttle, and improved lighting system all result in a more refined product. That said, this scooter isn't for everyone. At 82 pounds, it's not the most portable PEV, so if you need something lightweight for daily carrying, this might not be your best bet. But if you're looking for a reliable, high-performance scooter that can handle speed, hills, and rough terrain with ease, the Eagle One version 2.0 is worth a look. I'd highly recommend it for riders who want a mix of power, comfort, and versatility at a competitive price point. That is all I have for this review on the VARLA Eagle One version 2.0. If you want to learn more about this product, we will have a link to it in the description below, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more portable electric vehicle reviews. We have more videos on e-scooters, e-bikes, and electric skateboards coming up, so make sure to stay tuned for those. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.